So here's a fragrance by Navitus Parfums that I've had for a few months now, and that's because it was released a few months ago. However, I specifically waited until the summer to give you my thoughts and impressions on it. This one, creatively directed by Buck Moore from the channel Big Beer Business, is called Siesta Drive. I'm excited to give you my thoughts on it, so make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin today's video on Siesta Drive by Navitus Parfums, and I tell you all about this fragrance, the smell, the longevity, the performance, the accessibility, all that good stuff, I do want to start things off by mentioning that if you're a fan of fragrance-related content, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it. Pretty please, it would mean so much to me. Make sure to hit that bell icon so you can be notified whenever I do upload these daily fragrance videos, and give a video a thumbs up if you took something of value from today's episode. So I am the founding creative director for Navitus Parfums, such a labor of love. The brand was actually released back in 2019, and of course I've worked on fragrances like Navus, Primas, Absolutio, Imperial, Away, and Blaze. Here we have a fragrance that was creatively directed by Buck Moore. He also has a channel called Big Beard Business, so I'm going to leave a link to it down below. And this fragrance has such an awesome note breakdown. There's one particular accord in here called the Lemon Mascarpone Accord, and it's so silky and creamy and gourmand. There's so much citrus in here: Floridian grapefruit, Persian lime. There's geranium in here as well. There's a little bit of bergamot, lemon, every citrus you can imagine, including petitgrain. This fragrance was actually composed by Dominic Ropion, and he is one of the best perfumers. All you have to do is a quick Google search on him. You'll see just how many amazing fragrances he's composed. So enough about that. I'm excited to give you my thoughts on the smell. Let's take a quick look at the presentation. So right in the opening of this fragrance, you are going to get this hodgepodge of citrus. So like I mentioned, there's bergamot, there's lemon, there's petitgrain, there's grapefruit. Pretty much the only thing missing is like yuzu. There's also a little bit of mandarin in here as well. And it's amazing because that citrusy quality lasts such a long time, because later on in the fragrance's development, you're going to get lemongrass. I think from American lemongrass. So you're going to get this lemongrass ingredient in addition to vetiver. And the vetiver in here is very citrusy and very clean and earthy and grassy. Everything about this fragrance is very smooth and clean, and I love that citrus combined with the gourmand ingredients in the base, specifically the Madagascan vanilla. Combination of the citrus and the sweetness really gives it this almost like gourmand edible quality, but it's not a gourmand. You know, it's funny when you smell fragrances like Absolutio or Imperial by Navitus Parfums. Those are undoubtedly gourmands. The Embrace, creatively directed by Monica Choch, those are gourmand fragrances. This one has a certain refreshing quality about it, but then there's this magnetic sweetness that keeps you smelling it again and again. And even in the air, it smells amazing. So Buck Moore did an amazing job creatively directing this one, and Dominic Ropion did an amazing job composing this one. This fragrance has this creamy, sultry, almost dulcet quality in the heart with that lemon mascarpone accord. And I don't know what the perfumer used to bring together all of those unique ingredients, but there's definitely something edible surrounded by all of these magnetic and effervescent citrus ingredients. Now, when you get to the dry down, you do have olibanum, which is frankincense from Africa, and you do have the vetiver that I mentioned before, and then some of those citrusy ingredients taper off, but the lemongrass is alive. So it still gives it that impression of citrus while not being as volatile or as effervescent as it is in the first 20-30 minutes, right? That eventually does go away, but you're left with this creamy, vanillic, sweet, citrusy, slightly earthy, and definitely resinous dry down on account of the olibanum. Now, for a fresh fragrance, this is super long lasting, and I'm overjoyed to see that the reception for this one has been overwhelmingly positive, and people have been really enjoying it. And I'm gonna be honest with you, over the past few months, I've been wearing a lot of Imperial and XO Brandy. That is an amazing boozy fragrance, truly one of the best. And here we have something that is more, you know, catering towards the summer months, the key being another one, just the brightness of that grapefruit with the ambroxan. I have been particularly loving that one as well, but here is one that I've been meaning to talk about on my channel, finally getting around to it. And Buck, I am very proud of you. Keep doing what you do, and I think he's assisted the brand in so many significant and incredibly helpful ways, so we thank you so much for that. Let's go ahead and finish things off with my overall assessment. Now, first up, in terms of the uniqueness and the overall smell, this is hands down a super unique fragrance. Really can't compare it to anything else. Just that lemon mascarpone accord, the ton of citrus in the opening, the lemongrass, the incense, the geranium, the vetiver, very well done. In terms of the overall smell, very accessible. This is one that is going to cater to many different tastes. In terms of the longevity on this one, you're gonna get 8+ hours on your skin. Projection is great for the first hour and a half of application, and then it did radiate within an arm's length for a couple of hours. It became an elbow's length scent right around hour 4, and it didn't die out until hour 9 or 10. Extrait de Parfum strength, so these are very strongly concentrated, and with the discount that is currently being run on the website, you're going to expect about $129 for 100 mils Extrait de Parfum. I think it's an amazing price. In terms of the versatility, this one is incredibly versatile. Hotter weather, but you can pull this off in the autumn as well. Maybe in the winter time, you want to switch to something like Emblaze or XO Brandy or even Exalt Nuit in the winter time. I think that's perfect. So this one is definitely, you know, very versatile in terms of seasons, occasions. I can see somebody wearing this dressed up. You can wear it casually as well. And then I think it's perfectly unisex, and I think anybody of any age could enjoy this one as well. In terms of the presentation, you guys know my thoughts on that. I've done so many videos on Navitus Parfums, and clearly I'm biased because I shortlisted the presentation for the fragrances. My final verdict on this fragrance is, if you're looking for a unique summer fragrance, you don't mind a little bit of sweetness, but a ton of citrus with some grounding notes in the base like the woods and the vetiver and the incense, definitely check out Siesta Drive by Navitus Parfums. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it. Hit the bell icon so you can be notified whenever I do upload these daily videos on the channel. And of course, give the video a thumbs up if you learned something today, or simply if you took something of value from today's episode. Thanks again for watching. Love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.